The U.S. government is operating with secrecy above congressional oversight with regards to UAPs.
In a world filled with mysteries, one topic has consistently captured the imagination of humanity: unidentified flying objects, or UFOs. These mysterious sightings have long fueled speculation about the existence of extraterrestrial life and the potential for otherworldly visitations to our planet. David Grusch, a whistleblower with insider knowledge, has now broken his silence to reveal startling revelations about recent UFO encounters and the UFO phenomenon at large. What shocking details did the intelligence officer from the U.S. Air Force reveal? Join us on this captivating adventure as whistleblower David Grusch finally breaks the silence on recent UFO sightings, shedding light on the unknown. Throughout the years, there have been numerous reports discussing possible sightings of unidentified flying objects, commonly referred to as UFOs. These sightings often spark speculation about the existence of extraterrestrial life, with many imagining these UFOs as vehicles carrying aliens to our planet for various purposes, such as spying or assimilation among humans. While these stories have circulated widely, the truth behind them remains elusive. Some individuals firmly believe that UFOs have been witnessed by credible sources, while others suggest that government authorities have made direct contact with aliens, indicating their presence among us. Regardless of where the truth lies, one thing seems certain: the government is aware of these phenomena. Interestingly, several individuals who have worked closely with government agencies have come forward, shedding light on the notion that information is being withheld from the public, including possible UFO sightings and encounters with extraterrestrial beings. Among these individuals, David Charles Grusch stands out as one of the most prominent. David Grusch served as an intelligence officer for 14 years in the U.S. Air Force, where he held the rank of major and worked in various capacities, including active duty, Air National Guard, and Reserve. His most recent assignment from 2021 to 2023 was at the National Geospatial-Intelligence Agency, NGA, at the GS-15 civilian level, which equates to the military rank of a full bird colonel. During his time in government service, Grusch crafted numerous reports about unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, for Congress. He played a key role in shaping the language concerning UAP in the FY 2023 National Defense Authorization Act. This legislation, led by Senators Kirsten Gillibrand and Marco Rubio, was officially enacted into law by President Biden in December 2022. The law ensures that anyone possessing pertinent information about UAP can share it with Congress without fearing any repercussions, even if they had previously signed non-disclosure agreements. During his time in the U.S. Air Force and his role at the National Reconnaissance Office, NRO Reserve, David served as a member of the UAP Task Force from 2019 to 2021. The task force was assembled to delve into UFOs, now officially labeled Unidentified Aerial Phenomena, UAP. This task force was spearheaded by the Department of the Navy, operating under the Office of the Undersecretary of Defense for Intelligence and Security. As time progressed, the task force underwent reorganization and expansion, evolving into the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office. This revamped entity broadened its scope to include investigations into objects not only in the skies but also underwater. David worked at the Interior Operations Center on the director's briefing staff, where he coordinated the presidential daily brief and supported various contingency operations, unveiling the extraterrestrial puzzle. In 2023, David Grusch made a bold decision to reveal some highly classified information. It all began on June 5, 2023, when independent journalists Ralph Blumenthal and Leslie Keane broke a story on The Debrief, a website known for uncovering insider stories and cover-ups. Their article covered David's claims of a government UFO cover-up. According to David, the government had been in contact with several alien UFOs but chose to keep it all hush-hush. The story quickly gained traction, spreading like wildfire, with even the Washington Post deciding to investigate. However, many mainstream news channels opted not to cover it, which isn't surprising considering those in power probably preferred to keep the lid on things. Keane, one of the journalists, emphasized that they had thoroughly vetted David's story. They interviewed Carl Nell, a retired Army colonel prominent on the UFO task force, and a current U.S. intelligence official at the National Air and Space Intelligence Center. Nell described David as beyond reproach and supported his claims about a secret UFO retrieval and reverse engineering program. David revealed that the U.S. government not only had a secretive UFO retrieval program, but also possessed spacecraft of non-human origin. He even claimed that the government had the bodies of deceased pilots and engaged in white-collar crimes to cover up UFO programs. According to David, the government went to great lengths, including eliminating people deemed threats, to keep these programs concealed. Just 2 days after the initial interview, David had a follow-up interview with L.A. Parisson, a prominent French news outlet. He suggested that UFOs might be coming from extra dimensions and claimed that he had spoken with several intelligence officials briefed about alien spacecraft as large as football fields. David alleged that the government had transferred some crashed UFOs to a defense contractor. News about David and his interviews spread rapidly, eventually leading to his appearance before Congress on July 26, 2023. He testified before a session on government transparency and accountability, sharing his expertise and experiences regarding what he believed to be the government's penchant for secrecy, particularly concerning its activities with UFOs and aliens. Grusch shared that his decision to blow the whistle stemmed from concerns raised by numerous credible individuals within the military and intelligence community regarding the government's secretive handling of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs. He filed an urgent concern under PPD 19 with the Intelligence Community Inspector General on May 2022. His testimony is grounded in information provided by individuals with a proven track record of service and credibility, many of whom have offered compelling evidence, including photographs, official documents, and classified oral testimony, to Grusch and his colleagues. He also revealed that he diligently collaborated with evidence for 4 years while serving with the UAP task force. He made sure to thoroughly investigate the individuals sharing this evidence. Because of these efforts, he strongly believed in the importance of presenting this information to Congress. David was motivated by a commitment to truth and transparency, which he saw as essential in upholding the United States Constitution and protecting the American people. David urged Congress to hold the government accountable and conduct a thorough investigation into these claims. As he stood under oath, he spoke to the facts as they had been relayed to him. David mentioned that he had conducted interviews with over 40 witnesses over 4 years. According to these witnesses, the government had indeed been involved in a long-term program focused on retrieving and reverse engineering unidentified aerial phenomena, UAP, that had crashed. He asserted that the government possessed UFOs that had been recovered over time, but what exactly was being done with these spacecraft remained a mystery to most people. When questioned, David confirmed that the U.S. had retrieved biological matter of non-human origin from the pilots of these spacecraft. He stated that this assessment came from individuals with first-hand knowledge of the program, including those still actively involved in it. During the hearing, David and his co-testifiers extensively discussed what they believed to be evidence of the government concealing its role in scouting and retrieving UFOs. They were candid about their assessments, unveiling government secrets. David Grusch faced a series of questions about potential retaliation he may have encountered for his testimony. When asked about any reprisals he faced, Grusch cautiously responded, acknowledging an ongoing whistleblower reprisal investigation, and refrained from divulging detailed information that might compromise the investigation's integrity. However, he described the treatment he endured as brutal and unfortunate, detailing the professional and personal hardships he endured as a result of his actions. Grusch was further queried about his knowledge of individuals being harmed or injured in efforts to cover up or conceal extraterrestrial technology. While he affirmed having personal knowledge of such incidents, he trod carefully, noting his directive to individuals with such knowledge to report it to the appropriate authorities. Regarding his own experiences post-disclosure, Grusch expressed gratitude for the overwhelming support received from former colleagues. However, he also revealed knowledge of active reprisal activities against himself and others, allegedly orchestrated by certain senior leadership within previous agencies he was associated with. Grusch condemned what he referred to as administrative terrorism, attributing it to an attempt to silence dissent within government ranks. When questioned about potential cooperation between government agencies and adversarial foreign governments in technology exchange programs, Grusch admitted lacking concrete evidence on the matter, Similarly, he denied having received specific evidence regarding such collaborations. In addressing inquiries about his interactions with Dr. Kirkpatrick, head of the All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office, AARO, Grusch confirmed a classified conversation in April 2022, during which he voiced concerns to Kirkpatrick. However, he expressed uncertainty about why Kirkpatrick did not follow up on their discussion, emphasizing his willingness to guide on matters of national security. The discussion explored Grusch's authorization process for discussing sensitive topics, his encounters with individuals knowledgeable about non-human origin crafts, and his awareness of advanced technologies within the U.S. government. Grusch emphasized the significance of obtaining prior approval from the Defense Department before delving into classified matters. He highlighted the stringent protocols in place to safeguard sensitive information, underscoring the legal consequences of unauthorized disclosures. Regarding his interactions with individuals knowledgeable about non-human origin crafts, Grusch disclosed that he conducted interviews with such individuals. This first-hand engagement lends credibility to his insights and adds depth to his understanding of the subject matter. Additionally, Grusch shared insights into advanced technologies within the U.S. government, which he had been briefed on during his tenure. He hinted at the existence of unsanctioned programs in the advanced tech space, raising questions about oversight and accountability. The conversation also touched upon the issue of overcharging by U.S. corporations for technology sold to the government. Grusch suggested that such practices may involve the misappropriation of funds, adding complexity to government procurement processes. Furthermore, Grusch discussed satellite imagery and its role in capturing events of interest, including potential crash sites of UFOs. His background in physics and experience at the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency provided him with unique insights into the interpretation of satellite imagery. When questioned further about the existence of evidence about non-human or unexplained intelligence, Grusch indicated that such awareness dates back to the 1930s. However, he refrained from divulging specific names or titles of individuals with first-hand knowledge, citing the sensitive nature of the topic. Grusch emphasized the existence of special access programs covering this information, hinting at their ability to evade oversight. Despite being questioned about the initiation and authorization of these programs, he remained tight-lipped, citing confidentiality concerns. Regarding security clearances required for access to these programs, Grusch clarified that individuals with top-secret or sensitive compartmented information clearance are typically eligible. He debunked the notion of anything above the classification of special access programs, highlighting the delineation of classification levels outlined in Executive Order 13526. Grusch mentioned that authorization decisions for programs like Title 10 and Title 50 are typically made by a group of senior executive officials, both within and outside the government. However, he refrained from disclosing the involvement of private corporations or the amount of taxpayer money invested in these programs. When questioned about the possibility of a government disinformation campaign regarding UAPs, Grusch hinted at a long-standing effort to diminish public interest in these phenomena. He urged further exploration into various titles, programs, departments, and regions to uncover more information on these secretive programs. Unveiling the extraterrestrial. David quickly rose to prominence as one of the most sought-after figures in America, with everyone eager to hear his revelations. It seemed as though he had uncovered one of the nation's most astonishing secrets. His appearances on various platforms, including BBC Radio 4's The World Tonight, captured widespread attention. Alongside his attorney, he reiterated his claims about the U.S. government's possession of both intact and partially intact alien vehicles. However, it was his interview on The Joe Rogan Experience, the world-renowned podcast hosted by Joe Rogan, that truly made waves. Rogan's platform has gained immense popularity for providing a space for unconventional views, and David's revelations fit right in. As word about David and his claims spread, it was no surprise that he was invited to Rogan's podcast. During the interview, David delved into various aspects of UFO sightings and government involvement in concealing evidence of alien contact. He highlighted that the first documented UFO sighting dates back to 1933 in Italy, though he hinted that there might have been earlier incidents. The sighting described a UFO resembling a lenticular disc, similar to two dinner plates fused with a protruding bubble on top. Interestingly, the UFO appeared to have crashed, but upon investigation it was found to be empty, leaving Italian authorities perplexed. context. They even reached out to the Germans for clarification, adding to the excitement surrounding the incident. These details were uncovered by Italian researchers who discovered original documents previously withheld from the public. They slapped a gag order on the press, and Mussolini even called up the Germans, asking them to take a look. Surprisingly, the Germans denied any ownership of the mysterious object but agreed to investigate alongside the Italians. This incident suggests a curious possibility hinted by David, that the Axis powers may have united at the start of World War II to protect a secret alien discovery in Italy. While this theory may seem far-fetched, it's not entirely implausible to think they would go to extreme lengths, even sparking a global conflict to safeguard their find. This notion ties interestingly with the tale of Operation High Jump and the rumored Nazi UFOs in Antarctica. For those unfamiliar, Antarctica stands as one of the world's last unexplored frontiers, with its frigid expanses and minimal human habitation. Yet it holds a mysterious allure, steeped in secrecy and puzzles. One such mystery revolves around UFO sightings and purported Nazi activity, the nexus of Nazi alien conspiracies. Operation High Jump was a wild ride. The US government got wind of some serious activity going down in Antarctica. So, they sent Admiral Byrd up there with a massive fleet to check things out. When was this? Sometime around the 1950s, right after World War II. Now, according to Byrd's journal, which they dug up later, things got crazy real quick. He claimed to have encountered UFOs Nazi-style. Apparently, the Nazis had struck a deal with some extraterrestrials for top-notch technology. And get this, they were working together. According to the narrative, it's suggested that extraterrestrial beings, along with Klaus Schwab's father, a prominent figure in economic and business circles, held a meeting with Dwight Eisenhower, who was the president of the United States at the time. They laid down the terms, either play nice or face the consequences. Eisenhower supposedly agreed to let them do experiments, but only in certain spots, like our national forests. Here's where it gets even weirder. Some individuals, mostly of German descent and exceptionally bright, vanished without a trace. Some link this to the Nazi alien tales, even suggesting time-traveling Nazis. It sounds wild, but conspiracy buffs are deeply invested. Various conflicting factions exist, but this only scratches the surface. The remarkable advancement of German engineering is fascinating. Consider automotive giants such as Audi, Volkswagen, Mercedes, and BMW. Notably, BMW's involvement in crafting engines for Nazi fighter planes during World War II, exemplified by their production of the BMW 801D piston radial aircraft engine in Germany in 1939, underscores their historical significance. The collaboration between IBM and Nazi Germany is extensively documented in the book IBM and the Holocaust, which offers insight into their strategic alliance. This collaboration, delineated by the title's directness, reveals the depth of their involvement. Exploration expeditions to regions such as New Schwabenland in Antarctica prompt speculation about potential connections to extraterrestrial entities. Some conjecture that this proximity to alien encounters may influence certain individuals' choice of attire, such as space-themed attire. Furthermore, discussions extend beyond the mere acquisition of power and wealth. They delve into the realm of spiritual warfare. Despite possessing substantial resources, these entities seek not only control but also a means to influence consciousness, manipulating individuals on a deeper level. They might be doing it consciously, or perhaps they're driven by economic motives, which inadvertently leads to a spiritual battle because, in essence, everything boils down to a spiritual conflict. It's perceived as evil beings operating at a lower frequency, engaging in deals with criminal entities. This may sound ambiguous, but the direction is understood. Caution is taken not to delve too deeply into unconventional territory too quickly, but an openness to explore these concepts further remains. Now it's time for today's subscriber pick. In the dead of night, beneath a sky swathed in shadows, David Grusch found himself at the heart of a mystery. For years, he had carried the weight of classified knowledge, burdened by the truth that had been kept hidden from the world. But tonight, everything changed. As the moon cast its ethereal glow over the desolate landscape, David stood alone, his eyes fixed on the horizon. It was here, in this remote corner of the world, that he had witnessed the unthinkable, UFOs soaring through the heavens with an otherworldly grace. For too long, David had remained silent, bound by oaths of secrecy and the fear of reprisal. But now, as the whispers of conspiracy grew louder, he knew that the time had come to speak out. With every word he uttered, the darkness seemed to recede, replaced by a glimmer of hope. The truth, once obscured by shadowy schemes, now stood revealed in the stark light of reality. As David's revelations echoed into the night, the world held its breath, poised on the brink of discovery. For they were here. Whistleblower David Grusch finally broke silence on recent UFO sightings, and with David's courageous act, their existence could no longer be denied. Revelations and government oversight. In the conversation between David and Joe, David recounted the intense nature of the very first UFO discovery. However, he highlighted the uncertainty surrounding it, such as who found the UFO and its dimensions. Despite his insights, David couldn't provide clear details or the natural progression of events. Yet, he confirmed that this marked the U.S. government's initial encounter with a UFO, sparking immediate interest in its potential. While David couldn't confirm if it was the absolute first, it was undoubtedly among the earliest. Nearly a century ago, the UFO was brought to a location within the United States, prompting efforts to comprehend its nature. This endeavor began with understanding the situation at hand, similar to the approach taken during the Manhattan Project's secrecy. Over the past 90-plus years, this initiative evolved into a reverse engineering program, aiming to glean insights from the technology discovered. While not all discoveries directly contributed to technological advancements, they inspired innovations in various classified programs for national defense. Essentially, this discovery heightened the U.S. government's awareness of extraterrestrial life and the potential for harnessing alien technology through reverse engineering. However, David's ability to elaborate further on these matters was significantly restricted. He clarified that any sensitive information related to U.S. government activities, intelligence, or military affairs must undergo scrutiny by the Department of Defense's Office of Pre-Publication and Security Review, a standard procedure for individuals with security clearances. When it comes to writing about certain topics, like gardening, there's no need for special approvals. But if you're delving into military or intelligence matters, it's a whole different story. You've got to submit your work for review. It's a bit of a dilemma for the reviewing office. They're mainly focused on security, not on endorsing the content. It's similar to any author writing about Navy SEALs. The review process ensures that no sensitive information or classified details are revealed. If they find something that needs to be kept secret, they'll ask you to rewrite it and resubmit. They won't specify which agency flagged the issue, but they'll tell you what needs to be changed. Essentially, they're checking to see if there's any classified material that slipped through. Despite these limitations, David still shared some fascinating information. He mentioned that there have been over 10 UFO crashes since the first one, nearly a century ago. Additionally, he revealed that his findings were endorsed by Harry Reid, a prominent politician. Reid, a former Democratic senator from Nevada and Senate Majority Leader during the Obama administration, was part of the Gang of Eight, a select group of congressional leaders with high-level security clearances. David had a meeting with Reid just 9 months before his passing, seeking his insights on the matter. This meeting shed light on Reid's perspective on UFOs, offering valuable insight from someone with extensive political experience and security clearance. "He served as the majority leader in the Senate. That's a big deal," David exclaimed. So there was David, sitting in Harry Reid's living room, along with some other witnesses, right beside Reid. He wanted to pick Reid's brain about something. You see, Reid had supported the ASAP program, which looked into places like Skinwalker Ranch. David wanted to know, why did Reid allocate $21 million to the Defense Intelligence Agency, DIA, and Bigelow Aerospace for this? So in Reid's living room, Reid tells David straight up, "Yeah, we had UFO material. I tried to get access for years but was denied." It was mind-blowing. Here was the former majority leader confirming something huge to David. Interestingly, David mentioned that Senator Reid had been kept in the dark about substantial UFO or alien material for years. But he also said that Reid had weekly calls with President Joe Biden, and he planned to bring up the topic with him. Sadly, Reid passed away 9 months later, cutting off one of David's most important leads. Still, even after Reid's passing, David managed to uncover more information. For instance, he learned that Lockheed Martin, a major defense contractor, had been deeply involved in reverse engineering technology from UFO crash sites. Reid even disclosed this in a New Yorker article in May 2021. It was a big revelation, and it shed light on why he had been pushing for access to classified information for so long. The Secrets of Ancient Aliens. When the US government needs help understanding strange alien weapons and technology, they turn to Lockheed. David's discovery reveals several key points. Firstly, it suggests that the US government has known about aliens and UFOs for a long time. This knowledge has been closely guarded, with only a select group of people and companies aware of it. The secrecy extends from high-ranking government officials to defense contractors and beyond. The discussion about UFOs and alien life is not new. Humans have long been curious about our history and origins. While there is a commonly accepted narrative about human evolution, David is not alone in his belief that humans have encountered aliens. Another expert, Graham Hancock, shares similar views. Hancock, a British researcher and author, suggests that aliens may have played a significant role in Earth's history, possibly predating humans. Hancock's work has been criticized by mainstream scientists. He proposes that an advanced civilization existed during the Ice Age, shaping human origins and civilization. This civilization may have met a catastrophic end, similar to the fate of the dinosaurs. However, a few survivors likely passed down their knowledge to early humans. Graham Hancock also suggests that early human cultures received input from non-human sources. Many cultures have stories of interactions with beings like elves, nymphs, and gods. Hancock argues that these beings were what we now call aliens. To support his claims, Hancock points to monuments like the Pyramids of Giza. These ancient structures are part of the 7 wonders of the world, yet their builders remain a mystery. While most people attribute the pyramids to the ancient Egyptians, Hancock disagrees. He believes aliens played a role in constructing these monumental structures. In a 2002 episode of The Joe Rogan Experience, Hancock discussed his theory that the pyramids show signs of advanced alien technology. For example, the granite used in the Great Pyramid was transported over 500 miles to the construction site. The King's Chamber, with its massive granite blocks weighing 70 tons each, showcases remarkable craftsmanship. Egyptologists often claim that ancient Egyptians moved heavy blocks using wet sand to reduce friction. While this method may work on ground level, it becomes impractical 350 feet above the ground in places like the King's Chamber. The mystery remains. How did they manage to lift and transport these massive stones to such heights? It suggests a lost technology, hinting at a forgotten era where advanced knowledge and technology were commonplace. This leads to the speculation of an ancient apocalypse that wiped out any traces of alien knowledge and technology from our planet. Such an event could explain the lack of records detailing the origins of the pyramids and their construction methods. Graham Hancock explores this idea in his Netflix documentary, Ancient Apocalypse, where he searches worldwide for evidence of ancient alien civilizations predating human history. As further evidence, Hancock refers to the Pharaoh's medallion, a significant ancient Egyptian artifact. Discovered years ago, the medallion features a large crest believed to belong to Akhenaten, a renowned pharaoh married to Queen Nefertiti and father of King Tutankhamun. Observers noted a strange figure above Akhenaten's face on the medallion's crest. While some argue it depicts Akhenaten worshipping Aten, the Egyptian sun god, others believe it suggests something more mysterious. Some argue that the figure depicted on the pharaoh's medallion might represent Nefertiti herself. However, Graham Hancock proposes a different interpretation, that it portrays an alien being. This raises intriguing questions. Could it be that these aliens influenced the construction of the pyramids? And if so, what other knowledge did they impart to Akhenaten and the ancient Egyptians during that time? Now, you might be wondering why we don't hear more about these theories. Well, similar to David, Graham believes there's a broader conspiracy among mainstream figures to conceal the truth about our world. By keeping the majority of the population in the dark, these individuals can safeguard the secrets of our planet's history. The history of our world is a vast and complex subject that could take years to fully explore. With each discovery, we uncover a treasure trove of knowledge. What do you think of David Grusch's revelations about UFOs? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.